Sugar holds the promise of more energy and hunger satisfaction, but eating it does not deliver on that promise. Here are 10 signs that you may be addicted to sugar. Do you find yourself daydreaming about sugar or refined snacks, or find it hard to keep your focus off of them even when you are surrounded by friends and fun activities? This is one of the signs that you may be addicted to sugar or the refined foods that quickly convert to sugar inside of you, like bread, pasta, and soda, or the 3 C's, cookies, cakes, and candies. Having sugar on your mind can also lead you to do things that are out of character, like our second sign, which is sneaking around to eat it. This sneak eating can manifest in many ways, from hiding stashes of sugary treats in your purse or desk drawer to driving to an out-of-the-way fast food restaurant or grocery store where you are less likely to be recognized. If you use sugar as a coping mechanism, it may be a sign of sugar addiction, but there is a physiological reason behind why it works, at least in the short term. Sugar causes a chemical called dopamine to increase in a part of your brain called the nucleus accumbens. This part of your brain is commonly referred to as the reward center or pleasure center because it lights up when you do something pleasurable, like eat sugar. So if you find yourself seeking out sugar as a way to deal with uncomfortable feelings like boredom, loneliness, or stress, you're creating a learned behavior that will take the edge off of the feeling, but the relief will be short-lived and put you into a vicious cycle of needing more to obtain that same good feeling. And this leads to our fourth sign of sugar addiction, which is needing more and more sugar to satisfy your craving. As you continue to feed yourself sugar, your brain adapts and reacts less to dopamine. So whereas that small bowl of ice cream once did the trick to help you cope with an uncomfortable feeling, it now takes a big bowl with chocolate syrup to get that same pleasurable feeling. And the desire to eat that big bowl of ice cream or sugary treat doesn't have to show up on an empty stomach. Feelings of intense desire to eat sugar even when you're full is another sign of sugar addiction. The act of eating stimulates your appetite, so it's not unusual to feel like you want a little something extra after a meal. However, if you ignore that feeling or distract your attention away from it, it should soon go away as the message gets to your brain that you are full. If it does not, and you find yourself unable to detach from cravings for dessert, it may indicate a sugar addiction. And there is research using animal models that support this idea and show that being sugar dependent may lead to a delay in satisfaction after a meal. And this feeling of being out of control around food leads to the next sign of sugar addiction, which is having a history of binge eating. While there are a range of causes for binge eating, we see that sugar creates changes in the chemistry of the brain, making it hard to stop eating. And I think you might agree that it would be more challenging to binge on steak, which is a food that is high in fat and protein, than it would be to binge eat donuts, which are high sugar foods. And I mentioned the effect that sugar has on your brain, but it also impacts your blood composition, which can lead to the next sign, which is what I'm going to call the afternoon slump. When you consume a meal that is high in sugar or refined carbs, your blood sugar or blood glucose rises rapidly. That high sugar state is an inflammatory state, so your body has a check and balance system to move excess sugar out of your blood as soon as possible. That quick action leads to a rapid drop in blood sugar, which leads to you feeling a need for a nap in the middle of the day. The irony is that eating sugar seems to help, and this is the next sign of sugar addiction, which is that you feel better when you eat sugar. Being in a state of low blood sugar is a bad feeling. If you're addicted to sugar and eating refined foods multiple times a day, your blood sugar level peaks and bottoms out multiple times a day. And those sleepy, uncomfortable, low blood sugar times can be reversed in a moment when you drink a soda or pop a piece of candy into your mouth. Unfortunately, this does nothing to get you off of the blood sugar roller coaster, so you continue to feel the need to feed your addiction. If you don't feed your addiction, you experience sugar withdrawal symptoms. So experiencing things like headaches, fatigue, cravings, mental fog, and a general ill feeling when you try to cut sugar out of your diet is a sign of sugar addiction. And that puts you on a different type of roller coaster, which I will refer to as the willpower roller coaster. So the 10th sign of sugar addiction is finding yourself relying solely on willpower to try to force yourself to give up sugar. Now, I'm all for grit and determination, but with sugar addiction, you are up against not only a mental desire to stop eating sugar, but also the brain and blood chemistry changes that sugar creates. Willpower can start strong, but it is easily weakened by things like stress and even low blood sugar. So if you found yourself saying yes to many of these signs, you may be addicted to sugar, but there's no shame in that because sugar is an addictive substance that causes emotional, chemical, and physical changes inside your body. But you can lose your taste for sugar. I have done this in my own life, and it is a core principle of my teachings. I want to give you the first step. So if you want to get started toward this sugar-free life, I encourage you to download my 0, 1, 2, 3 strategy and watch the free video series that explains how to get the most out of the strategy. The 0 of the strategy stands for zero sugar, and it is a great way for you to get started. You can access it all for free through the links provided on this video and down below in the description area. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe and share this video, and have a great week.